Okay, so we're going to do more conversion problems here. Suppose that a cupcake recipe designed to produce 12 cupcake calls for 900 milliliters of flour. How many milliliters of flour would you use if you wanted to make only 8 cupcakes? Okay, so we want to know, first, that's how I do the problems. I go, I want to know this. I want to know how many milliliters of flour, that was horrible, from 8 cupcakes. So I'm going to convert 8 cupcakes to milliliters of flour. Alright, so I'm going to put 8 cupcakes, so cupcakes. And I'm going to convert that to milliliters of flour. Okay, so to do this, I need a conversion factor or a ratio to convert cupcakes to milliliters. So let's go back in our problem here. We have 12 cupcakes makes 900 milliliters, or requires 900 milliliters of flour. So I can write that as conversion. 900 milliliters over 12 cupcakes. I'm going to just put a double C. Or I can write it as 12 cupcakes for every 900 milliliters. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this 8 cupcakes by one of these ratios. To figure out which one I need to put in, I look here. Oh, I got 8 cupcakes, so cupcakes in my ratio needs to be on bottom. So that cupcakes cancels out with cupcakes. So this one has cupcakes on bottom, so I'm going to put 900 milliliters over 12 cupcakes. Cupcakes will cancel out with cupcakes, and I'm left with the unit milliliters, and that's what I want, milliliters of flour. If you're not understanding why I'm doing this cupcakes over cupcakes, it's kind of like the same thing as if I took 5 times 1 over 5. Well, the 5 cancels out with that 5, and you get 1. It's kind of like that. You got, but in this case, it's units. Like cupcake divided by cupcake goes to 1, and you have no units. And then the unit that's left over is the milliliter. All right. So let's do another one. A book is, you can read that yourself. So we got 220 milliliters in width. We're going to convert millimeters to centimeters. If you don't know the conversions, look them up in your book or just look on the internet. I'm sure they're there. So we're going to do this twice. We're going to go to centimeters and to meters. What I personally like to do, especially for people just starting out, I like to convert, if we're in metric, convert straight to meters. No matter what we're doing, just go to meters. Even if we're going to centimeters, I like to go to meters first. It's kind of easier to memorize the units that way and what they represent. So if you look up, I'm gonna do this problem by going to meters first. I'm going to answer this question first. If you look up a millimeter, 1 millimeter is actually 10 to the negative third meters. Milli means 1,000, so it's 1,000th of a meter. So we have this equals that, so I can make a ratio 1 millimeter over 10 to the negative third meters, where I could write 10 to the negative third meters over 1 millimeter. All right, so you might also see this. You could also say 1,000 millimeters equals 1 meter, and then you could write the ratio in. These two things are saying the same thing. So I'm going to use one of these though. So millimeters is on top here. So I want this one because it has millimeters on bottom. That way millimeters will cancel out with millimeters. So I'm going to put that in. 10 to the negative third meters over 1 millimeter. I multiply this out, and I would have meters. This would give me meters. So whatever that equals would get you meters. Now, to do centimeters, now this is just the way I like to do it. So we'll look at how to get centimeters now. I like to take all that. So I'll just rewrite it. That's the easier way for me to do it. 220 millimeters. I go ahead and put my ratio in to convert to meters. And this is going to give me centimeters. Now, I add one more ratio. I'm going to multiply by one more ratio. And you need to look up how many centimeters are in 1 meter, because if I multiplied this out, that cancels out with that, so I'm in meters right now. So I'm going to look up, I know it's 1, let's write it in blue. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. If you don't believe me, look on a meter stick. Or you can also write 10 to the negative second meters equals 1 centimeter. In this case, I'll just use this one right here. I'll use that, and to put that in a ratio, go 1 meter over 100 centimeters, or 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. We could do either, or we're going to use, take a guess as to which one we're going to use. We're going to use this one right here. Meters is on top, so I want to put meters on bottom for my next ratio. So I'll put 100 centimeters there and put 1 meter right there. That's going to equal so many centimeters. If you just do the first part here, that's going to tell you how many meters. Okay. This might be a long way around to doing it, but I think it shows you clearly how we're converting from one unit to the next. Okay.